And hello, everyone. Welcome to Heart Center Tarot. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. And welcome to Gerald from Tarot Stash.
Hello, everyone.
And Hershe from the Shadow Reader.
Hello, everybody. Blessing.
And this is blind spot readings. So, what's a blind spot reading, you say? Well, it's a reading where you don't ask the question. You simply let us know, I would like a reading. We will then tell you what is hiding in your blind spot. That is something that you are either unaware of, you can't see, maybe even you're aware of it, you just don't want to see it, and you just need someone to point out to you to stop doing what you're doing and fix what you need to fix. So that's what a blind spot reading is. So if you're interested, please just type in me. That's all you need. And we'll take a look and see what's hiding in your blind spot. There are just a couple little rules that I will mention. If you have had a reading from anyone else in the last 72 hours, please don't post. Please allow someone else who hasn't had the opportunity to get their reading in. Okay? So the other thing that I will ask is that you please go over to Gerald's channel and Hershe's channel. Make sure that you do the YouTube thing and do the like, share, subscribe, because it's free to subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. But you know, if you want to become a member, take a look at membership. It does have its privileges. Okay. So also, Gerald and I, Hershe, do you do private readings as well?
I do.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. So if you would like a more in-depth reading, if you would like to get more information about what is going on and whatnot, please get in touch with us. Book your reading. Okay. Then you have us for half an hour, whatever time you book. And there's a lot that can be covered.
Oh, yes.
So do that. And again, the information is down in the description of the video. Just look up Gerald's channel and Hershe's channel and take it from there. Did I forget anything?
For entertainment purposes only.
For entertainment purposes only. Absolutely. Just a second. I'm going to put that up right now. There you go. There's the banner.
Yay.
That reminds you. Okay. So let me just very quickly say hello to some folks that are here. Sherry, Voices from the Swamp, has joined us. Hello, Sherry. Laura Hammond-Davis, Plucky Heroine. Lalima has joined us. Hey, Lalima, haven't seen you in a while. And Lalima would like a reading. All righty. And Paula Ravida. Absolutely. You're on the list. Joanna Mayhew. Nice to see you here. Helena Harrison. Thank you for coming. Moon Scarab.
Hi, Ramon.
And Helena Harrison, I think I got you. And Viviani. Hey, Viviani, nice to see you here. And Dolores Villanueva. Hello, Dolores. And Celtic Seer. Hello. And Celtic Seer. We're not doing general readings, Celtic Seer. These are blind spot readings. And you don't ask the question. We tell you what's hiding in your blind spot. So there. All righty. And without further ado, you know what? These can take a little while to do these. And so, yeah, we'll get ourselves started. I will do my very best to try to keep an eye on the chat and to make sure that I do star you if you ask. And yeah, and like I say, just, if you have had a reading in the last 72 hours, just allow someone else. And if we run out of questions, we could always say, okay, more questions, please.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. And hold on. Dolores, there we go. Okay, so the first one we
I love
have.
it. Hershe, you were down there. You were like, limbering up and, it's like, all right. Woo! Like
Doing
a lot
the
of
Rocky
energy.
theme song, right?
It is a lot of energy, isn't it?
Yes.
It really
Yep.
is. It really
Yes.
is. I've noticed that as well, because I think the energy is different than, since these are blind spot readings, the energy shifts a little bit. So
It is, because it's completely up to your interpretation, and you're not picking the cards. You're allowing the universe to guide you to the cards that need to be there, but you still have to interpret what you're seeing. And it takes a lot of energy to keep your biased opinion out of it and just strictly understand the card.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. So, all righty. Lalima, what do we got for you? Angel of Miracles. Open your heart and expect a miracle. Okay, so what I'm getting is you're still getting in your own way. You're still double checking. You're still not sure. There have been more than enough miracles that have come your way. That is the universe's way of confirming that, yes, we hear you. Yes, we're here. Yes, we're working on things. Yes, we're doing that. But you question. So they're saying, stop it. Stop it. You got it. Miracles are coming your way. Okay. That's what I got.
And I think, Lalima, part of what's happening is I think what you've been doing is you've been looking for a dramatic change, something that's coming. You're going to be getting that. This is the Tower. And here's the thing, in the Tower moment, when the lightning strikes and it causes all of that chaos, you need to decide, are you the lightning or are you the chaos? Or are you a combination of both? I think it's an important thing, Lalima, to realize that you can be both. And the opportunity for the lightning strike is for you to be able to go through things, cut some of the things out that are not serving you. And Lalima, I think I think you don't miss the boat on this. Don't miss the boat. So that's what I have, Lalima.
Hi, Lalima.
Yeah. She says, yeah, she can totally relate. Okay, good.
I don't usually get the subconscious to be on the same track as the conscious, but what I can tell you is everything they just told you is bigger than you're giving it credit for. Your blind spot, even in your subconscious, is automation. Automation is understanding that you are doing shit on autopilot. You are not breaking patterns. You are not trying. You are literally just putting it on autopilot and you are going, going, going. So what I want you to do is I need you to understand that when you're driving in your car and you know you need to go to the post office, but you somehow missed your turn and you're still driving towards home, that's when that autopilot kicked in, right? You need to go back. You literally need to stop, get in a U-turn lane, make a left turn so that you can turn the hell around. You have to break the pattern, sweetie. The only way to do it is to find silence in your life. Once you find the silence, you can find where you're missing the switch, right? That is just automatically on. You need to turn it all the way off. Don't put it on auto. Don't leave it on automatic on anymore. It is saved in a memory bank that has literally got you trapped in a whirlpool. You're just spinning. So you need to move that and you need to allow the change. So in the silence will come the change so that you can recognize the pattern and you can start breaking that pattern of this automation and get rid of this autopilot that you seem to get into when it comes to things that you want to do, you pre-program for needs and you're making the needs overcome the wants. Well, sometimes you have to play just as hard as you work. So I'm encouraging you to hit that U-turn lane and find out where that button is and turn that thing off and allow yourself to breathe, find quiet, and then you can find a way to change the pattern. And that's what I've got for you.
Perfect.
Nice.
Wonderful. Thank you, Alima. I hope that resonates with you, and I hope that it's helpful. And thank you for asking. Okay. We have got Paula Ravita. Yes. Oh, and Alima says, yes, that will definitely need to break some patterns. That was right on point. Okay. All right. Paula. And you know what I'm going to do? Someone mentioned that, yeah, you can't see our names. I think, let me see if I can't remove that. And does that bring up our names? No. Okay.
I think you can do something in the brand to where
In the
it's
brand?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, you know what? Let me see. What happens if I do this? No?
Nope.
Okay. Well, you know what? You just have to believe us that I'm Marina, that he's Gerald, and she's Hershe. Okay? Because, yeah, I think, whoops, when I removed the question, see,
There
our
it
names
shows.
come up.
Yep.
Yeah, there it shows. It's just, yeah, when we've got the question up, then, yeah. Okay.
I mean, honestly, that happens on every channel. It's not just here.
Yeah.
It happens on every single
Sure.
YouTube channel.
Yeah. So there. All righty. And
can I start with Paula?
Yes,
May I start with Paula?
Please.
Paula, what your blind spot is you do not realize that you are more powerful than you think you are. All of the things that you are thinking about, all of the dreams that you're having, you're actually putting them into the world. You're actually manifesting them, making them happen. You in your unconscious, your subconscious, you don't realize that you have that power. And for part of it is you don't think you can have that much power. So what you need to do is you need to, this is the 8 of Cups, you need to walk away from the feelings of being less, because you need to get rid of that, because you've got some power. And Paula, you want to do that. You need to do that. So understand that you're more powerful than you think you are, but you got to let a bunch of crap go. So that's what I have for you, Paula.
And I agree. I get the unicorn. And this is all about serendipity. This is all about you recognizing the things that you have done, and you surprise yourself every time that you do it. Is you start to manifest something, and you think, oh, wouldn't it be nice, if I had this, I'm working towards this, and all of a sudden it's there in front of you, and you think, oh, look at that, aren't I lucky? It's not so much you're lucky as you're making it happen. So I agree with Gerald. You're not realizing that you're capable of doing this. This is something that you can call at will, and you need to pay a little more attention to all the little serendipities that come up, and like all the little coincidences that happen, and recognize them as being more than coincidence. So there you go. That's what I've got.
So life is never easy, at least not for us adults, right? You didn't get 1 or 2, but you got 3 blind spots, right? And I don't feel like, it would be on your left or your right. What I really feel like is I feel like they're right in front of your face, and you are intentionally, I don't like using that word when it comes to blind spots because you want to think you can't see them. But when you're intentionally deflecting and it shows, in not one way, but 3 different ways. So the first one that fell out when I was like, oh, okay, is number 7. Number 7 is meaning, right? You always go to a complicated place when it comes to the meaning of something. Even when it's simple, somehow the conscious, subconscious, and unconscious are completely making it complicated, right? You're going to worst case scenarios, right? The second one that fell out is not seeing the signs when they're right in front of your face. It's uncanny how many times we see numbers, or we have a deja vu moment, or we have a confirmation that there's no way somebody could have known this, but yet they just confirmed something about something completely else, right? What I want you to understand is both of them actually go hand in hand. Psychologically breaking down each other, right? The more you read into them, and not are they just going together, they're incredibly deep sigils. I mean, I'm talking 3 and 4 pages long to anybody that has these decks, right? But then the one and only one that I would think wouldn't be thrown out, they literally threw it out. And it is deflection, number 76. And that's the one they really want me to focus on you with. Even though meaning is there and not seeing the signs and not accepting deja vu for what it is, most people say, well, I don't know what deja vu is. Well, yeah, absolutely you do. It's you experiencing something that you've already lived through, right? Whether it was another walk, another life, another time, another existence, plane, I have no idea. And you probably don't either. But that's what the deja vu is about, right? It's something that you are experiencing, a feeling, a sensation that you've already done. So what I want you to understand is when you're deflecting that, when you're not honoring it, you're not accepting the confirmation that a 555 number just appeared out of nowhere. A 444, or 1111, whatever number catches your eyes, your attention, right? There is something that needs to happen right then and there at that moment. You need to stop. This is that 11-second rule when it comes to psychologically changing a deception or a deflection pattern, right? Deception and deflection, you don't think they go together, but I promise you, break the words down. They absolutely do. Anything that starts with DEC has the origin of deceit, right? Deflection, deceit, deception, they all go together. That's something we are consciously doing so that we don't see it. So make sure that you understand that pattern. There is something morally to the gaining of the ground when you think about the longevity of it, right? You don't want to end up in an Alice in Wonderland world, right? And you got a queen chasing you off with her head, right? No, you don't. You don't want to have to wonder if you're going to drink something and shrink or eat something and grow. So you need to stay current and present, and you really need to work on deflection and stopping it, recognizing it, understanding it from the beginning. When the meaning comes in, to not seeing the pattern that are clearly there, and then completely discarding it and deflecting it like it has no meaning in something that is currently going on. It really does. And it really is a pattern that is breakable. It's not easy, but it can be done. And that's blind spot that I found for you.
There you go. Perfect. Paula, I hope that resonates.
Very nice. Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, I did put Hershe and Maya links in the chat if people want to find it. It's also, as Marina does, it's in the description below. So
thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Joanne Mayhew. Joanne, are you here with us? I think that I just saw you post, but just let us know.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. And Joanne. Yeah. Yes, she is. Okay, Joanne. Thank you, Viviani. Oh, okay.
Joanne, part of what is going on is you're spending too much time thinking about the past. What happened to you in the past? This is the 6 of Cups. You're having these memories. You keep having these memories. You keep adding to these memories. And it's keeping you looking in the past, not actually looking for looking to the future. So this is you've got to be very careful, Joanne, not to spend all of your time thinking about what was, because now's the time. You have stuff that you are doing, energy that you are healing, and you're almost done with that. You can't do that as you look at the past. And I get that you're trying to stop, and that's, I mean, the importance of it is you have to recognize that that's what you're doing. You have to see that you're spending too much time thinking about the past. Get into the here and now, because the here and now is what's really important. So, but yeah, so that's what I have for you, Joanne.
Absolutely. And yeah, I get 7 deadly sins. And this talks about humanity and destructive traits. So yeah, this is it. It's very much a pattern going back to what you know. When the new is uncomfortable, it's a lot easier to go back to what you know. And it's really funny. I just received this, and I'm going to share it with you because it seems very, very fitting. Okay, and it says, if you don't leave your past in the past, it will destroy your future. Live for what today has to offer, and not for what yesterday has taken away.
Mm.
So, absolutely, that it's nice sometimes to visit the past when we, revisit happy memories, but we don't have to move back home. We don't have to take up residence in there. So leave the past in the past. And if you have to say to yourself, that was then, this is now. I can't change my past, but I can change my future. Yeah, that's what I get for you, Joanne. Yeah. And Hershe?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that so it kind of goes with what you guys was saying, right? But as they're coming in a little bit more about wanting me to address an energy first. Something about your blind spot is you letting go of something, right? So I think with them wanting me to address the energy of it first before I go into the element of it or what it is completely, I want you to understand that I believe that your team is telling my team that this is something that you're learning to let go of. So this may not be so much of a blind spot as it is actually me confirming something that maybe your team is trying to get across to you. So what I want you to understand that your blind spot is assumptions, right? So when you assume something, that is spell it, make a out of you and me, right? So when you think about that, usually when we assume, we take it for truth. We don't look it up. We don't assume that there is any other thing but this. This has got to be the honest to God truth, right? That is what we assume when we're doing it consciously. Subconsciously, we're literally doing the exact opposite. It is negatively impacting you in a way to where you're creating a pre-existing model for every incoming question, no matter who it's coming from and no matter what range or area it is coming into you to be felt or sensed or logically accepted or the other side of the brain, right? So to understand the word assumption is to literally take the word, break it into many smaller sections, and then recognize the part of you that's in that word. And I promise you, that's probably what your team is trying to relay to me, that you are learning to let go of this bad intended, picked up, predisposed place of mind that a lot of us go to all the time. So you're not alone with this situation, right? But there is totality in it, and that is a lot of good fire energy. And as a fire dragon, I want you to understand that when it comes to totality, that is completion, right? That is a stop sign that has said you did it. This is a 10. If there wasn't a positive one ever, you have one now. You have a big, beautiful stop sign. Totality, you are completing something. So whatever it is that you are subconsciously working on that is breaking the patterns of assumption, keep doing it. And that's what I've got.
Beautiful.
Nice.
It was like they stopped me right before I was about to talk. And I'm like, okay, yeah. That was
Yeah.
Totally get that. Okay. And a plucky heroine.
Marina, do you want to say who's in the queue so that they people can hang out? Do you mind doing that?
No, absolutely. I can do that. Okay. I've got plucky heroine. Hello. Plucky heroine. I'm not drinking. I swear it's too early. Celtic Seer, Dolores Villanueva, Dorian, Joyful Journey, and Haley.
Okay.
So that's who I have. And so you guys can stick around. Yeah. Plucky heroine. I was shuffling beforehand, and the card that I pulled for you was Dolphin. And the Dolphin is all about don't worry, be happy. So you've been spending a little bit of time worrying about what could happen, what might happen, what's probably going to happen, and not paying so much attention to what may not happen. You're concentrating a little too much on the negative and not enough on the positive. It's all going to work out. So the only thing that worry does is it complicates your life. It complicates what you do with the number of hours that you have in a day, and it doesn't change the outcome. The outcome is what it's going to be. This is going to work out. So stop making yourself crazy by worrying about something that right now you don't have any control over. Relax. Be like the dolphin. Go, frolic in the ocean. Have fun.
There you go.
Yeah.
Plucky. I have the Hierophant. Part of your blind spot is you're trying to follow all of these rules that you don't understand yet. You're trying to understand all of the structure. You're trying to force what you want to do to fit into a box that somebody else has described. You can stop that because that's not what you should be doing. You should be understanding things for yourself. What is the book that you are holding in your hand? Because the power of that is and the other thing is Plucky, this is going to take longer than what you want it to. This is the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles, you've planted these seeds, let them grow, let them evolve, and stop trying to rush it. You're trying to think you should be in a place where you're not, and stop comparing yourself to others. So that's what I have for you, Plucky. I hope that makes some sense.
And I would have to say that I think that that card is the reason that my deck chose what it chose. So I actually got non-commitment, right? But they don't want me to focus on that part, right? So your sigil is number 19. 19 is non-commitment, right? But they don't want me to speak on that. They want me to speak about the part all the way dang near at the end, like a page and a half later, when it comes to decisions, right? So when it comes to decisions are the ultimate fear factor when it comes to somebody that is in a non-committed state of mind, right? Non-committed goes so much farther than just being in a relationship with an actual person, right? Somebody that is non-committed is usually non-committed to their own life, right? They struggle. They put fear in the place of everything, no matter how much they don't want to, it happens. It is, again, a pre-programmed pattern that we learn as children. So this isn't something that you started doing 5 minutes ago, 5 days ago, even 5 years ago, right? So what they want me to say about decisions goes all the way into another sigil, and that is scarcity, right? So when you think about scarcity, when you tie it to the non-committed part of you, here's what you need to do. You need to look at things and think and say out loud, I perceive them, and I will stay in perception and find the abundance instead of the pattern of scarcity. Scarcity will lead you right back around. So this is, again, that cycle of insanity that we do to ourselves when we don't recognize a pattern, because we do it over and over and over and over. Even though we go in with different intentions and a different hoping outcome, we always get the same result every single time. And that's because one pattern ultimately leads you to another, no matter how much you think they do not go together. One is number 19, one is number 48. One goes on one side of the brain, one goes on another side of the brain. But what you can do is you can find alignment within the two. That is connecting a bridge, building that tunnel from the subconscious to the unconscious to the conscious, and all kinds of little Candyland, chutes and ladders, all kinds of ways to make that dream come true, to where you are not alone, not scared of the non-commitment part of you that is scared and puts fear before everything. And that's what I've got for you, sweetie.
Nice.
Perfect. And Dorian made a comment, and thank you very much. You reminded me, we talked about this before the show, and I was actually going to mention it, and then boom, it went out of my head. Listen to everyone else's readings, because there is a message in there for each and every one of you, something that you can take out and you can say, you know what? That kind of applies to me. So if it feels like it applies to you, take it. Even if it's not in your reading, in someone else's, take it, because the message is for everyone. So there you go.
Yeah.
All righty. And Plucky Heroine, I hope that was helpful. Okay, Celtic Seer. Celtic Seer, what is hiding in your blind spot? If you've got something, Gerald, go ahead.
Okay. Celtic Seer, one of the things, this is the Queen of Wands. This is you have power, you understand you have power, yet you're afraid to use it for some reason. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that, but there is this complication of you of something going on. You're worried about the outcome instead of trusting your intuition. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I pulled two different cards, and I got the Queen of Wands in both of the cards. Celtic Seer, there's with the Queen of Wands, it's about a maturity and showing how to use your power. If you have tarot decks, I would pull out your Queen of Wands and see what the message is for you, because it's there. It's trying to get out, and you're missing it. So I think that's interesting. It's like, okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. Two different decks, and out of the possible 78 cards.
Okay, actually, this is the Queen of Swords. This is the Queen of Wands. So sorry. Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands, doing and being inspired, but they're both queens. There's a whole lot of divine feminine about that and different aspects. So lean into that. I love that, Celtic Seer.
Yes. So. Yeah. You got it. Absolutely. The card that I pulled for you was children. And I love that they're inside that flower, and they're protected by that tiger, and it's a very warm feeling card. And the message on the bottom of the card is, know that your children are protected. Whether they're young or adult, children always have a soft spot in our hearts. They really do. There are some things that we can protect them from, and there are some things that we just have to stand by and let them learn and be ready, willing, and able to catch them when they make a mistake or when they fall, because that is part of, being a parent as well. So what I'm getting with this card is your children are fine. They are protected. Whatever they are going through it's a lesson for them. It's a lesson for you. Your lesson is to, even though you can see that they might be making a mistake, to hold back and let them make that mistake so that they learn the lesson. If you're too helpful, the opportunities to learn that lesson is going to continue to come back for them. So they're fine. They're okay. Let them be. Yeah. Oh, and she says, I don't have kids. Perhaps my creativity and approach as a child. It could very well be that is anything that you're birthing that feels very much a part of you. So absolutely, something. Let things happen.
Yeah.
Let things happen. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Celtic. So, this deck, this blind spot deck, doesn't have eyes, so to speak, right? Some of these decks that I have, and I have a nice little collection that I enjoy, I feel like they have eyes that they can see who they're reading for. They can understand a person, right? But when I get this deck out, there's no eyes. It's like it's unbiased, no eyes, and it doesn't care who, as long as I call out the name and the conscience is available, right? But when I called out for yours, I got number 2. So there's a big, huge block there, right? The first 5 cards in this deck are blocks. You're not going to know it if you don't have the deck and actually dive into it. You won't know it, right? Blocks are something that is created by someone before us. We didn't create the block, right? This block is number 2, and it's called the self-concept block, right? So the word block, right, lets us know that this is something that is traditional, but yours is in reverse. So the energy of traditional means that you don't want to honor it anymore. You don't want that forced thought in your head anymore. So you're wanting to break the pattern, and here's how you do it. First of all, you let the rebel inside of you out, so that you literally, if you have a Gemini or ego alter twin, let them out, not your super ego, because the super ego feeds the self-concept block, right? Using words like me and mine instead of using the word I properly, right? I properly keeps you present. When you say me or mine, that's that super ego going mine and jumping on it, laxing on it. You can't have it, no matter what it is, even if it's not yours. The super ego can't tell the difference. The ego can, when it is healthy and you're speaking about yourself currently instead of third terms or that third person where you're acting as a possession or a place instead of an organic organism of being, right? So being means to be present, right? So what I want you to know is that this is one of the harder ones to break through, but because you are already working on that, you've already got traditions that are going, doesn't work anymore. What I need you to understand is there's going to be words that you're going to need to relearn. And some of those words is admitting, accepting, and being unwilling to judge. Those are not 3 things that are easy to do when you have a self-concept block, because you want to put me and mine in there so desperately. But it's like putting but in a sentence. It changes the concept. So literally stop with me and mine. Speak only for present I. That is a lot of ownership, and I promise you it will start breaking those traditions and those forced thoughts, and that block will crack. And that's what I've got for you.
Wonderful.
Cool.
Thank you, Seer. I hope that was helpful. Okay. And Dolores. Dolores, if you can let us know if you're here. And then after Dolores, I've got Dorian, Joyful Journey, Haley, and Kika222. And Kika222, just to let you know, yeah, this isn't, we're not doing like a love reading or whatnot. You just, it's a blind spot reading. So you'll kind of get what's in the blind spot. Okay.
So Dolores, what I have for you is this is the Six of Wands. This is the card of celebrating your everyday successes. And you are really, really hard on yourself. Only things that you are seeing are the things that are disappointing. When you reflect on the day, Dolores, you're only seeing the disappointments. You're not seeing the small victories. So your blind spot is this is taking all of your energy and it's sucking all the joy out of you. So you're not using this, Dolores, for the opportunity to inspire you to be different. The blind spot is you're actually doing some things successfully, Dolores, than you're giving yourself credit for. You need to see those. You need to start recognizing those, because the universe wants to give you more things that you can be successful doing. So I hope that gives you some help. So thanks, Dolores.
Yep. I get 7 heavenly virtues. And this card talks about keys to goodness. So I do agree with Gerald, is that there is a lot of goodness in you and goodness in the things that you do that you just don't see. You've been doing them for so long that they're second nature to you, that you don't see the value in what you bring to the table. And this card is reminding you that, there is goodness, there is value, there's virtue, there's all kinds of good things to what you're doing. So, give yourself a pat on the back. You're doing great. You're doing a good job. And it's okay to recognize that. Yes. There you go. That's what I got.
Hi. So I got 2 blind spots for you. So the first one I got was number 29. And number 29 is wanting to be right at all costs. Right? Even when you're dead ass wrong. That is a blind spot that all of us for thousands of years have suffered from, honey. This is a breakable one, but I have to learn it every day. Every day I have to remind myself, I'm telling you, you're not alone with this one. And it's not the one they really want me to focus on. The one they want me to focus on is number 31. 31 is limits. And that is understanding yours and stop judging yours by someone else's. Your limits are not theirs and theirs are not yours. I don't care how high they can jump in a high jump. Do you know how many decades they've been practicing that and you want to learn how to do it in 5 minutes? Stop. Stop. Really, honestly. What I want to do is I want to read something to you real quick. A boundary is an imaginary line that ultimately and uniquely defines our personal happiness, our personal feelings, our personal thoughts, and our personal integrities to personal desires, needs, and therefore, most importantly, your own personal truth. Despite whatever the rest of the universe has for Tom, Dick, and Harry and the cat down the road, their limits are theirs. Let them be that. I want you to get into yours, and this is a journaling exercise that is never fun, but you really need to understand that judging your limits or someone else's by yours is detrimentally cutting your nose off to spite your face. It is not something that any adult wants another adult to be able to be like, you mean I can't do that? Well, no, you can't take my plant and make you a starter plant just because you want one and it's pretty. No, this is my plant. So you have to start learning boundaries, right? That imaginary line. Pretend everybody's got one 75 feet all the way around them, just as big as yours, right? Theirs is no bigger, no smaller, but just like they can't see yours, you can't see theirs. So stop taking from someone else to boast you up so that the 29 sigil comes into effect of always wanting to be right, always going back to this illusion of, oh, well, see, I told you it took 9 years, 39 days, and 45 seconds, but it came true. I told you. That always wanting to be right concept, right? Not allowing the wrong to be there and acknowledged for what it is. Wrong can be corrected. Assuming assumptions of always wanting to be right and holding that into the limits of what you're giving yourself is not healthy. There is a brand new creation with intensity coming in for you once this pattern is broken, right? This creation is something that is not for Tom, Dick, or Harry or the cat down the road. It's just for you. So what I really want you to focus on in that journaling is writing down something that only you can bring to life, and only your fire, your intensity, your imagination, your blessed hands can bring it there. No matter if it's textile, paint, clay, form, coloring, crayons, chalk, whatever it is, you can do it. And it happens and it starts the absolute second that you change that thought pattern. And that's what I've got for you, sweetie.
Perfect. Thank you, Hershe.
Thanks, Dolores.
Yes, lovely question, Dolores. Okay, Dorian would like to know what is in their blind spot. Oh, okay. Always wanting to be right, even when I'm wrong. I can see that sometimes. Yeah, there you go.
Can't we all? Damn, I know I do. I see it in me every day.
Well, the problem is I am always right.
Yeah, it's a heavy burden.
Give me something to throw at him, y'all. He'll feel it, I promise.
There you go. There you go. I'm not telling the truth. Actually, there is a lot more power in when you know that you are not right, and the power magnifies when you know that you are not right, and you say you are not right, and you now have new information, and you can adjust and change your mind. You can evolve your mind. So, Dorian. So, Dorian, your blind spot, somebody's trying to take you for a loop. They're trying to take your joy. This is the 7 of Swords. Dorian, be very careful. People are not telling you always the truth. And you need to be paying attention to this. Notice what actions people are doing. Be very, very careful about this. You can manage this because this is paired with the 2 of Pentacles, which tells me be careful with your money. For entertainment purposes only. Somebody may be trying to skim something off of the top or off of the bottom or off of the side, something like that. But this just feels this is a deceitful person. This is some deceit going on. You're not seeing it. This is a good blind spot card in general. And having it paired with the 2 of Pentacles suggests look at your finances. So that's what I have for you, Dorian. I hope that's helpful.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. That what you just said, Gerald. Yeah, totally confirms that what I got, because I start off with the cheer up card, and that says, yeah, live in the moment. And I thought, well, okay, that's kind of a good thing. And then I felt compelled to pull another card, and I got choices. And the message here is make the best choices. So, okay, I think what is in your blind spot, and I do agree with Gerald, is that it is someone who is who is trying to limit the choices that you have, and is trying to convince you that black is white and white is black, and you're not really seeing the whole picture, that they're the ones who have the information so that that you can make this decision. You know what you need to do. I think you have a very good idea of who this person is, and you need to take ownership of the choices that you make. They're your choices. They're not somebody else's choices. If somebody else wants to choose a different path, that's fine. That's good for them. Wish them well in their journey. It's not your journey. That's what I get.
So I've had a few aneurysms. So sometimes I run across words that my brain can't say, right? So I can't make the word come from my brain to my mouth. So what I'm going to ask is that somebody, this is the sigil, it's number 41, and I don't think either one of them have their book handy, but hopefully one of them can get to their book and they can say the word.
I'm looking.
This word that is going to be said is a fancy word for somebody who is being what they would call a damned fool, right? So what I want you to understand is this is a socially confident person that wears a mask, right? You're the person wearing the mask. You're the person.
Chicanery.
I'm sorry?
Chicanery.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's a fancy word for always wanting to see the good in people, never allowing somebody to take their mask off and be who they really are around you, because you're always bragging or boasting. You're always this, it's always that. No matter what it is, you're always hyping the situation up, right? So what I want you to understand is that is a damned fool action, right? That doesn't make it bad. That just means that there's a lot of naive going in there, and there is a lot of things that are being misrepresented, right? When we have a fear of something, or we don't actually understand something or know it, sometimes we get a little overexcited about it. We let the anticipation build until we can't even control ourselves, right? We don't even maybe have an actual connection to it. So this mask is something that is not easily recognizable by a lot of people. But once you start seeing it for what it is, the energy in it can be turned into protection, right? You can still want to see the good in people, but you're going to protect yourself more. You're not going to put them on a pedestal, and you ain't even built you a pedestal, right? So I want you to understand the energy, but then what I want you to focus on is the sigil number 64. And again, this has another one of them fancy words in it. And this is another fancy word for a mask, right? It's altruism. I think it's altruism. Yep. So anyway, this is always wanting to fix it, right? This is the mask of always wanting to be the knight that comes in to save the day, right? This is the person that wants to fix everything. I'm a fixer. I want everybody in a good mood all the time. If I can fix it, I want to fix it, because that's just who I am, right? I want to make it a better situation for a person. I'm a fixer. So this is a mask that I wear a lot, because I truly, as a root worker, I want people to have the best intentions. But what you need to understand is the blind spot to this is that we, again, don't build that pedestal for ourselves. We don't take in those little moments that need to be honored, because they don't mean anything to anybody else but you. So give yourself 11 minutes every single day to just be attuned to you, and take your mask off. And that's what I've got for you.
And 11 minutes by the timer, not by what you think. Actually set a timer.
Yes.
Perfect. Perfect. I hope, Dorian, that is helpful to you. Okay. Joyful journey. Are you here with us? I believe you are.
I did see Joyful a little bit ago.
Perfect. All righty. And yeah, I put it in there. The deck that Hershe is using is this one. It's called the Blind Spot Oracle. Yeah. And
It's a
Boy,
wonderful tool.
it is.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Okay.
Jen, joyful. All right, joyful Jen. Blind spot. This is, I have the temperance card. Temperance is about being able to take pieces and parts of things that don't normally work together, put them through a process, and make something completely unexpected out of them. Think of tempering steel. You put it in the fire, you bring it out, you pound it, you put it in water, you stick it back in the fire, you pound it, and then you put it back in the water. Part of what is going on is this, it very much feels like you're not willing to do the give and take. You're only doing the giving, you're not doing the taking. You're not actually balancing these cups here. Because I also have here a blind spot is the King of Wands. And what's great, I don't know if you can see it, but the King of Wands in his hands or in their hands, they are pulling energy. They're creating a limnisket, which, gee, looks awful lot like that. You're thinking that to do this, it's actually bigger and more difficult than what it is. Get out of your way and start doing a little bit of balance, and give and take. And I'm not talking you need to do this and then this. You need to do this. I mean, small things will build up for you, Jen. So that's what I have for you, Jen. I hope that helps.
Yeah, absolutely. What I get is self-reliance. Okay. Don't be afraid to do things on your own. Don't feel like you have to do something as part of a couple. Don't you're magnificent just the way that you are, all by yourself. I love the fact that she's wearing a lovely crown and she's very well dressed. She's celebrating herself. And sometimes you forget to do that. You don't celebrate you. You're looking for a little more of your self-worth in others. Rely on yourself. Okay. You know what to do. You know what needs to be done. Yeah, you can do this on your own, and it's perfectly all right to be on your own. That's what I've got. Yeah. And Alf's mom, if we have time, we are at 57 minutes. So if we have time, yes, I'll put you on the list, but I don't want to keep these folks here for the rest of the day either. So there. Okay.
Okay, so this is gonna sound a little bit like I've lost my marbles, right? But there are good things that we miss in life, and they become blind spots. One of your blind spots is literally positivity. You got number 54, and this is literally named positive. Nothing else to it, right? It's a beautiful treble clef, some gorgeous music notes. Oh my God, it is dreamy. It's like I need it tatted on the other side of my neck, right? I love this card because it is one of those self-awareness reminder cards, right? Psychologically, we forget to put positive in our own life. What I want you to understand is that you are easily finding positive and happiness and joy and positive expectations and excitement for everybody you come in contact with, except for the one you walk in front of the mirror with. You need to go in that mirror sometime today within the next 12 hours, and you need to literally either write on the mirror, write with your finger. You can air write. You don't have to get the lipstick whole thing and write on the mirror unless you absolutely want to. But what I want you to write on there is, what is my positive intentions for my next unhappy or suffering place, right? Place as in place of mind, right? When we go to those places, we forget to bring the positive with us. We bring all the uck because we don't know what we're going to have to clean up. So we got buckets and we got mops and we got rags and we got cleaning stuff. yeah, it's going to be clean afterwards, but what are we going to do to fill it with positive affirmations and positive situations so that it don't fill back up with that dang on negative, right? Well, the only way to do that is to literally bring change in immediately. Immediately. Like, I mean, literally within the next 12 hours. Start writing it. When you start writing it, you create a goal. When you create a goal, you create something to reach. In order to reach one, you have to teach one, and you have to start with yourself. You can't try to teach somebody else when you yourself don't understand and have full, complete understanding and comprehension of the negative, because it wouldn't have been a negative if there wasn't a positive in there somewhere. So I promise it's probably as small as a grain of sand or a mustard seed or however they say it, but it's in there. I guarantee it. You might have to do a bunch of backcombing, but you will find that positive. You're positive. The other thing I want you to write is, what bad thing do I lose when I replace it with something happy, right? I can't even imagine the bad stuff for you that you can lose. But when I tell you some of the bad I've lost is anger, attitude, a chip on my shoulder, looking at things negatively, looking at things through a kaleidoscope instead of a hope chest. I have learned to gain a lot, and I have lost things that I no longer can even remember. I've lost more than I can remember. So these are things that were not worthy of me, and that's why they didn't make it to the new future version of me, right? It all happens within love, right? So when you think about being paired with lovers, for me, if I've ever read For You Joyful, then you understand I don't see this as a man and a woman and a woman, or a man and a man, and I never, ever will. This is about loving yourself first. So when they pair loving you with positivity, all I can tell you is the sky is the limit for positive affirmations, positive ink therapy, positive coffee dates, positive walks, dates with yourself, shopping sprees through windows for no reason other than the smile, the thought, or the creation that comes from behind it. So absolutely remove that negative, replace it with positive, and let the sand grow. And that's what I've got for you, sweetie.
There you go. And I'm just pasting. There you
I
go.
got you too. Yep.
Oh, okay. There you go. You get it twice.
Great minds.
All righty. Haley. Haley would like a blind spot reading.
Nice.
Okay, Haley, are you here with us? If you can just let us know.
And then who's after Haley? May I ask?
Yes, you may. And I thought you were psychic. Can you not pick up on that?
Well, yes, but yes, I can. Yes, because I'm one of the real psychics of YouTube.
I know. Okay. After Haley, we have Kika222 and then Alf's mom if we have time. So if you can, oh, Haley's there. Perfect.
Yep.
Okay.
Haley, I got the Empress, and this is a blind spot, is an interesting option for you. This is in your unconscious. You are actually more nurturing than you give yourself credit for. You need to understand that you have the ability to encourage and nurture people, the things with the things that they need. And you need to, I would encourage you to start appreciating that. I would encourage you to Seven of Cups for you, which is to dream about all of the things that you want to have happen, because you've limited yourself. You've actually limited yourself because you don't think you can do this. You're actually not able to not even dream a bit. Dream bigger, dream huge, because you have the ability to make it happen. So Haley, I mean, you can do this. Dream big, manifest, make it happen, make it huge, make it huge. So that's what I got for you, Haley. Love that.
Absolutely. And it's funny. Yeah, make it huge. I get new beginnings. Do not put constraints on yourself. Do not box yourself in and think that there's only so much that you can do. Um, think big, think grand. What you conceive, you can achieve. So that being the case, don't, you're not looking for a cottage in the woods if you can have more than that. So new beginnings, don't stand in your own way, accept what is coming in, and see things as not as something that stand in your way, but see the new beginnings as opportunities for something that you can grow, that you can get into. So absolutely, you're very much protected. And I pulled from the dragon card as well, and I got the let's see, the alpha dragon. Okay, and the message with this card is that the alpha dragon has raw power of creation. So pay attention to your intuition and go forward knowing that you can achieve what you need to achieve. Look forward to those new beginnings. That's what I got.
So this is one of the more challenging sigils, right? You got sigil number 59. Sigil number 59 is projection. Projection goes both negative and positive. It's also agreeable and disagreeable, right? This is one of them words that is spelt in the same both directions, right? No matter how you want to change it, it's the same both directions. What I want you to understand about this is that there is actually no approval or disapproval when it comes to projection, right? When somebody projects something, they're either putting their all into it or they're damn sure putting someone else's, not even theirs. It has nothing to do with anything they think, feel, or care about. Somebody else's completely. Until you know that person, you don't understand what they are projecting, right? Whether it's theirs or someone else's. There is a solid rule when it comes to projection psychologically that if it was as a child, meaning that hypothetically a child is born into a home that doesn't allow anger, right? So if this home and parents don't allow anger and that child goes through that emotion for the very first time and is shunned or disciplined or made to feel lesser, then that emotion, anger or fear, rage, disappointment, you can replace it with any bad one that you want, that as a child first experiencing it, not knowing what to do with it, and not having a positive place for the projection to happen, it goes to a negative place as an adult, right? But as an adult, if we didn't have a projection button as a child, usually as an adult, when we project, we try to project something positive, right? Just the way we are, right? Because for one, we're grown and we can control it a whole lot better, usually, right?
Yeah.
Well, the misconception is that it is a transcending thing that happens both times in your life, as a child and as an adult. No matter what your maturity level is when you turn 21, 35, 44, about to be 48, or 72, the maturity level of projection grows. It changes. It metastasizes into everything you believe and everything that you stand for. So what you can do is make sure that when a child in your care or someone in a child mentality that does not understand that their projection, whether they're grown or not, is unhealthy, you can be the person to help them recognize it, right? So when say this, it sounds like I'm saying, like, do this for somebody else, right? But in order to understand it and see it in someone else, you have to recognize it in yourself first. And as long as you understand in your life where projection started, it's at that point that you transcend, right? Once you honor it and you give it a time and place and an honorable place in your life, that becomes a ground, a strength, a transforming of energy that you can now give away. When you give it away, though, remember to do it in a healthy environment and a neutral environment. You don't want it to be one way or another, because you could lose the advantage of the teaching moment. And that's what I've got for you.
Perfect. Wonderful. All righty. Thank you for the question, Haley.
Mm-hmm.
And Kika, I noticed that, yeah, Gerald had asked if you're still watching. So yeah, let us know if you're here, and if you're here, we'll read. If not, then I will. Oh yeah, she is here. Okay, all right. So then, Kika, and what is hiding in your blind spot? Let's see. Okay, I get Archangel Raphael. And the message here is provider of healing for the mind, body, and soul. You got to take time to heal. It feels here like you're jumping around. You're ripping the Band-Aid off a scar before it has had a chance to properly heal. And you're wondering why the original scar isn't healing. You're not giving it enough time. So this is, I think, what is hiding in your blind spot, is allowing time for the mind, body, and soul to heal before looking for the next project, the next thing. Knowing what your responsibility in that situation is, so that if things didn't go well, you know what not to do next time. So that's what I'm getting here. Your blind spot is not doing the work to be able to move forward, and just repeating the same process. That's what I get.
Kika, what I have for you is I have the 9 of Cups. You are not appreciating you as a person, as a lovable person. You are expecting other people to prove that you are lovable. You already are lovable. You just need to let people love you exactly how you are. So there's a blind spot for you. You're thinking that that the idea that you're lovable comes from outside, and again, for entertainment purposes only. The blind spot is you appreciating who you are, what you bring to the world, and it's okay to take your bows when things go well. This is the 6 of Wands, so it's important that you appreciate who you are and what you have to offer, because if you don't appreciate you, and I know it may be hard, but you're lovable just the way you are. And that's part of your blind spot. You don't think you may not think that you are lovable. So that's what I have for you.
Oh boy. Okay, so this is one of those sigils that, oh my God, I've gotten it twice for myself. And when I say it took me 5 months to really understand this one, what I can tell you is that you got triangulation.
Oh, triangulation.
Number 28, triangulation. It's a tongue twister for me. I'm sure it's not for everybody. What I want you to understand about this is that there is something that you yourself are not seeing, right? When we do it consciously, that means it's being done to us. But when we do it subconsciously and we start talking in third person, we are manipulating the energy and we become the triangulation, right? We are making something go together that doesn't fit. We are creating a grid that can't protect nor hold the weight we are putting on top of it, right? So when you dive into a sigil like this, what you have to understand is that it comes from nowhere other than your highest self. Only your highest self will recognize this. You, your current present self, cannot, unless it's happening at that exact moment and somebody says, hey, why are you talking in third person? Who are you talking to? That's the moment you realize you are manipulating the situation. If you are recognizing it in a current situation, you are being manipulated, sweetheart. This is one of those catch-22s. I'm caught in a rock and a hard place sigils, because for me, as a subconscious reader, there's only one way to recognize it, and that is if it comes out in third person, it's you. But if it comes out as I need help, I'm being manipulated, then you recognize it and you can immediately understand that your higher self is kicking in right then and there for your protection. This is not a sigil that I would recommend that you sleep on. So take some time to psychologically break down the people that are actively in your life and find out if they're deserving. And that's what I've got for you.
Perfect.
Nice.
Tika, I hope that resonates with you. All right. And Alf's mom, this is our last question. And Alf's mom, are you still here? I hope you are. I think you are.
And Hershe, I don't know if you saw, Alf's mom just ordered the deck.
Do you have a seat belt? I strongly recommend that you get a seat belt and a bunch of tissue and a box or a pillow that you can throw the deck at, because I've had it for almost 5 years and I can't tell you, every ding and dent has got a name that has come from this deck. Just saying.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Yes.
It's the deck yesterday.
Yes.
And none of those dings have the name Gerald, correct?
I'll never tell.
Okay. Appreciate that. Alf's mom, what I have for you is a blind spot. I have the 8 of Cups. You are holding on to something emotionally so dang tight. It is dragging you down. It is actually holding you you're stuck in a place. You need to let it go. You need to cut it out. This image is really very powerful because this is one of those things when there are some cultures that when you go through a significant life change, that you cut your hair as a symbol of a new beginning. I did it after I got married, and that was a good change, but it's the letting go of the past. And so this is an important thing to remember. And Alf's mom, I would encourage you to consider I'm not telling you to cut your hair. Don't do that unless it works for you. But I'm telling you to cut some ties, perhaps, because there are some things that you've been battling. This is the 5 of Wands. You've been battling them for a while. And the question is why are you battling? Because the reason for the battle has long, it is the dust of that reason for the battle has left your hands in the wind. Stop and go, you know what? Really, do I still need to do this or not? So I think it's a really powerful thing. Let that go, cut some ties, and then find the beauty and the freedom of that evolution. And understand, I get Alf's mom, all of this is hard to do because these are things that we're used to. And so just because we're used to it doesn't mean that it fulfills us anymore. So that's what I have for you, Alf's mom.
Yeah. Okay. What what I got for you was go with the flow. Let things happen. And then I was called to pull a tarot card, and I got the 10 of Swords. This is something that I do agree with Gerald. You are holding on to something so tight that you can't see the weight that it has put on you and the weight that you are carrying around with it. It is difficult. It does hurt. When you let go, when you release it, you're going to feel so much better. Initially, it does feel like like a betrayal. But you know what? You've been carrying this around for so long that it feels like it's part of you. So letting go of it would be like letting go of part of yourself. And you're saying, hey, without that, without that past, without that that baggage, without that that mentality, who am I? So let go with the flow, let go of that. I know it feels like it's going to hurt forever. It's not. And you'll be much better on the other side. The pain will be worth it on the other side. That's what I get. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. So all right. So what I'm going to basically tell you is a fun little fact about me, right? A fun little fact about me is when I got out of prison, I went to cosmetology school. And just before I was about to graduate with my cosmetology license, my cancer returned and I couldn't complete it, but they graduated me with an apprentice license. If I still had the ability, I would be the person going up to strangers and changing the way they see themselves, right? When we change the way we see ourselves, we can understand why we get sigils like this. Number 56 is the comfort zone. This is somewhere that I highly recommend you get the hell out of ASAP. Run to that beauty shop, cut your hair, dye it, change it. I'm talking bold, sassy, gorgeous blues and purples, something you would never do, right? Why do I say this? Because it is literally the key to everything you don't have right now that you desperately want and need. Because you keep running back to that comfort zone, you're going to stop everything that comes in the unknown. When you run to that comfort zone, you're running away from the unknown. To run away from the unknown is running away from the key that you need to open the doors. And not just one key, but look at all them keys floating around out there that you can get your hands on. Just not in your comfort zone. Your comfort zone won't allow it to happen. They're going to give you everything you want. Your favorite push pillow, your favorite drink, your favorite cigar, your favorite TV show, whatever, your favorite blankie, the TV tray with the food presented right in front of you. No, get up and walk to that dining room table. Go outside of that comfort zone and find what you are missing. Yeah. Something is desperately calling out to you with key energy to get out of the comfort zone and come find it. So I highly recommend that you project something other than comfort and find a way to climb a mountain, because there's something calling for you and you'll never find it where you're at right now.
Growth happens. Growth happens outside of your comfort zone.
Absolutely. Never happens there. Never. There's not a thing for it.
Yeah. Totally. And Linda, I'm not ignoring you. I do want to acknowledge that you had asked. We are at 1 hour and 24 minutes, and I don't know about anybody else, but I'm being tapped out.
Okay.
I'm being totally tapped out. So, yes, if you'd like to join us in, well, if you join us in 2 weeks' time, Gerald will be here, but we'll see if we can't bring on someone else who can help us do the blind spot readings. But yeah, Linda, sweetheart, any other time I would, but I'm just literally tapped out.
These were really powerful readings.
Yes.
I thank you for hosting, and I appreciate. I'm watching the best chatters commenting that they're listening in and they're getting something out of them too.
Yes.
So this is wonderful.
Perfect. Yes, I love that they are. Recognizing that just because Susie Q asked for a question, it's only meant for Susie Q. No. It's if you find something in there that resonates with you, go for it. Yeah, it's meant for you. So okay. And Linda says, no, actually it's perfectly okay. In fact, it's kind of a relief. I'll get you next time. I'll get you, my pretty.
And we did 11 readings today.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Oh my, yeah. Good. And if you, as I said earlier, if you would like a more in-depth reading, more information, whatnot, reach out to us. We do private readings. Set up a time for a private reading, and then it's one-on-one. You get to ask specific questions. We can address specific things.
Yep.
It's one of the many services that we provide. So thank you, Gerald. Thank you, Hershe.
Thank you.
It was a blast as always. And
it was great.
I love doing this. I really, really enjoy it. So
me too.
Anyway, before I let you go, just very quickly, is Gerald, what have you got coming up on your channel?
On my channel tomorrow, I am doing readings with Deborah Zachow. We're doing If You're Stuck in Your Development readings, where we are inviting people to join us on screen. So, and then next week, somebody whose name happens to be Hershe the Shadow Reader and Medium Betsy Palmer on Monday will be joining me, and we're talking about what's in our toolbox. Nice. And that's all I'm going to say. So you just need to like and subscribe, because that's what's coming up.
There you go. Wonderful. Wonderful. And Hershe, what if, besides being on with Gerald, what have you got going on?
Well, it is my Wednesday, and tonight in shadow work, guys, I'm doing blind spots tonight. So follow me, subscribe to my channel. Yep. I am doing blind spots on my co-pilot channel tonight, which is with my brother Thomas. We do shadow work every Wednesday. Friday, I have nothing. Tomorrow, I have some private. And Saturday, you guys get ready, because we are doing a scavenger hunt between Chris, Elemental Cartomancy, and Brian from Blushing Nerd Tarot. And
oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, and I am, my Monday is full. My Monday ends with, I am on with Woo Woo Wonderment, Kaylee. So I'm her first guest. So if people just subscribe, I post all of this stuff on my community cab.
Yes.
So my community cab.
Yes. And even tab even. Yes. That's where you go. You want to know what we're up to? Check the community cabs.
Yes.
That's where you'll find the info.
Hail a cab.
Yes.
Oh, I don't feel so bad for all them twisted ways I was going through.
Are you kidding?
Right?
Yeah. All righty. Well, thank you to those of you who spent part of your day with us. Thank you for being here. 6:30 tonight, I will be on Sisters of the Mystical Tarot, and Sharon will be our hostess. And yeah, go over to my channel, check out the community tab in there. You'll find out what I'm up to. So there you go. Thank you, you guys. I look forward to this. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time. And Gerald, we hope that you approve of whoever we bring on.
Yes.
Alrighty, excellent. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.